Media criticality means not just accepting everything presented in the media at face value, but rather thinking critically about everything you encounter in traditional media, social media, or whatever future media there might be. Here I will give some advice to help you do that. I present here some helpful critical questions you should think of when using any media. They are mostly based on Petit cours d'autodéfense intellectuelle by Normand Baillargeon, translated to Finnish by Tapani Kilpeläinen as Älyllisen itsepuolustuksen pikakurssi. First, some important questions you need to ask yourself when using any medium, be it a newspaper, a website, social media platform, or whatever. Who owns or funds the medium? What prejudices might such ownership or funding cause for the medium? How is advertising used or allowed in the medium? What kind of sources are being used? For example, news agencies, experts, governments, PR companies, surveys, or other. Focusing on the particular document you are paying attention to, ask yourself the following questions. Who is the apparent author of the article, or video, picture, or whatever? Is that person credible? Do they seem biased? Why do you think so? What is the target audience? What kind of assumptions and values are expected of the audience? Which point of view has been adopted? What is the genre of the piece? Is it a news article, an opinion, a report, a column, an editorial, an advertisement, a personal blog or vlog, a scientific article, a popularization of science, art of some form, drama, fiction, other entertainment, edutainment, some kind of challenge video, a joke, or other humor, or something else? What is the real purpose, intended effect, or message of the document? It might be something other than what it is superficially meant to look like. How is this specific piece situated in the medium? If in print, is it on the first or the last page? In the beginning of a show or news program, or at the end? The positioning of the story may have to do with how the editor or equivalent values it or sees its significance, or they could be basically trying to hide the story. Is the positioning relevant to what is being said? Does the medium have an interest in the news, story, or the subject being reported or discussed? Is it intentionally sensational? Do they emphasize emotional, unusual, dramatic things? What part does imagery play in it? What kind of sources are being used? Are they relevant and credible? Are they being represented with prejudice or bias? What actual arguments are used? Are they valid? Do they contain conflicts or contradictions, or perhaps fallacies? Is the language neutral? The language used may show bias. It may be more or less clearly value-laden. What evidence is provided? Could it be interpreted differently, perhaps with different background assumptions or different values? Might other people with different backgrounds, different ethnicities, social classes, age, gender, and so on, see the thing differently? By trying to imagine different viewpoints, you may be able to see different possibilities of interpretation. MediaWise partnered with Crash Course to create an excellent educational series about navigating digital information that I highly recommend. They suggest you try to practice lateral reading when using media, or at least whenever you come across anything interesting. It means trying to find out what other sources are saying about the same thing and thinking why they might do so. Use search engines and trustworthy websites to check if the claims being made are noted by others. Often people share fake news or other content because they don't check them at all. This is especially common if the material has an emotional effect. Any kind of strong emotion easily pushes us to action without thinking about it first. There are several good fact-check organizations out there. Try to remember at least Snopes.com. If the subject you are getting information about has to do with supernatural or paranormal claims, fears, or what you suspect might be pseudoscience or medical quackery, you can check the What's the Harm website and especially the Skeptics Dictionary to see what they have to say about it. You can do a reverse image search, at least on Google or TinEye, on pictures or parts of pictures that you see being used. For example, Insider Tech has a useful tutorial for that on YouTube. You can use reverse image search to see where a photograph used in an article has been used previously. This can reveal that the story using it now is actually trying to manipulate you by lying about what the picture is supposed to be about. The real context of the image is very important. Pictures can be photoshopped, and now even videos are becoming more and more easy to fake. A parody video of a politician, say, using deepfake video and a voice actor can spread online as people believe it to be a real video about the politician. States and organizations may use this kind of technology to try and influence people to sow discord in other countries, for example. You need to be aware of this.